Hello, everybody!
Hi, guys, welcome back. It's a really exciting episode that I'm really excited to introduce to you guys today. We're at season 1, episode 18, and
It's gonna be fabulous.
it is going to be fabulous. I feel like as soon as we give you guys the title, you're going to know what it is. But hey, obviously, it's the week after, or a couple of weeks after Junior Worlds now, so we thought, what better to talk to some Junior World champions, maybe? How about it, Brie?
What a pretty amazing introduction, really.
I know. So, welcome to season 1, episode 18, The Road to First Place with Teams Elite Junior.
Exciting! So, with us on the call today from Teams Elite Junior, our 2025 Junior World Synchronized Skating Champions, we have their lovely head coach, Danielle Ostrower. We have their team captain, Evie Stuckey, and one of the skaters, Lyric O'Neill. So, you guys want to say hi?
Hi everyone.
Hi. Hi, everybody. Excited to be here.
It is. Oh, it is so good to have you guys. We are absolutely honoured to be chatting to, I think we're never going to get bored of saying it, the 2025 Junior World Champions, hey? But we're going to do a little bit of a detailed introduction of you guys, because you guys are absolute girl bosses and have some incredible, like backstories. And then we're just going to chat to you about your season, your story, and how you got to where you got to a couple of weeks ago on the top of that podium. So we'll introduce Danielle Ostrower first. So Director of Synchronized Ice Skating for Teams Elite and Head Coach of, get ready for this, Senior Elite 12, Junior, Novice, Intermediate and Juvenile. So Danielle started skating, I know.
The legend.
Started skating at 8 years old for Chicago Jazz and won a bronze medal at the Junior World Challenge Cup in 2006. Not only is she an absolute incredible skater, she's a qualified lawyer. Transitioned into coaching after college, but she studied to be a lawyer and passed the bar exam, but decided, you know what, let's go for coaching. And she's now got 16 seasons as head coach behind her.
Incredible. We didn't miss anything.
I know, I hope not.
It's like the introduction. Thank you.
I know.
Yeah, really gas you up there. Some pretty cool stuff.
And then we have Teams Elite Junior Captain Evie Stuckey, third season on the team, started skating at the age of 3, and has been with
How do you
Teams
even
Elite for
do that?
6 years.
Sorry to side note. How do you even start at 3? Just mum and dad holding you up as you waddle along?
No, I was able to walk on my own. My mom and my grandma both skated, so I kind of grew up going
I love that.
to skate. Yeah.
It's a family
love
thing.
It is. And then last but by no means least, Lyric O'Neill, Teams Elite Junior Skater, second season on the team and second season with Teams Elite, and started skating at the age of 7. So even still at the age of 7, I wasn't even thinking about skating. I know you were, Brie, but I was definitely not. So yeah, very, very cool.
Yeah, I jumped right into synchro too. Like I never was really a freestyle skater. When I was
I
7
like it.
synchro, I was all for it.
Nice. I'm a full synchro kid as well, so we like that.
It's fabulous. All right. Now we're just going to do a couple of facts or a little bit of information about the Teams Elite organization itself. So a lot of people probably don't know too much about it. Obviously, everyone, I hope, that's listening knows of the junior team now. But Teams Elite has teams across all or most of the categories in the USA. So the club itself was founded in 2003, I think, is what we found.
So this is interesting. The club was actually formed, I believe, in 1999.
Oh, no
Yeah,
way.
and it was a recreational organization out of the Park District, and sort of went through some growth and some, backsliding a little bit. And it went, I think it did some US figure skating stuff, and then it kind of went back to ISI. When I got there, it was completely recreational, and there were 2 levels. So I think it was 1999, but I think probably what you're seeing is when it was like full blown USFS and then went backwards. So
I see. Wow. Okay, so it's been through quite a lot,
Yeah.
really. It's not a fresh face. It's been around for a long time. Okay. You're based out of Northbrook, Illinois, which for those of us that have no clue about American geography, that is Chicago. Is that the easiest way to explain
Yeah,
that?
it's like a half hour
Fabulous.
away from Chicago.
Amazing. The junior team started in 2018, I believe, is what we found. So that was the first season, 18-19.
So a very young junior team, can we just say, to already have a gold medal.
Yeah.
Like, wow. We'll get into that later.
And then for the junior, according to ISU, and kind of against what Quinn said, you guys in low season train 7 hours a week, and on high season train 10 hours a week. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's our on ice training, but yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Wow.
Amazing. Okay, no wonder you're making moves. Then, of course, aside from the lovely Danielle that we have here today, the junior has a total of 4 coaches, we believe. So you also have Jamie White, Lauren Roman, and Josh, I'm going to butcher this.
Fishel.
Fishel?
Yeah, Fishel. There you go, Fishel.
Fishel. Oh. Fabulous. Okay. And by the looks of it, everyone comes from a different discipline, which is pretty incredible, and I think probably contributes to a lot of your success.
Yeah.
So you've got the ice dancer, you've got another synchro skater, and you've got a single skater. So all of that is probably a credit to how the skills are developing and a very well-rounded teams that you've got, which is amazing. Cool.
Wow.
I feel like is that a good
What an
summary
introduction.
of the... Yeah, is that...
Shall we crack on with some questions? Yeah?
I reckon.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's start right at the beginning. How did your season start? What were the trials like? Was there like a big turnover from last season? Just talk us through the position you guys were in almost a year ago now.
Maybe start with Danielle, you go first, and then we'll go to Evie and Lyric, and you guys can do it from the skater perspective from each side.
Perfect. Yeah, I actually don't know how many people we had leave last year. I think it was like 7 or 8, maybe 8 or 9. I'm not exactly sure. We did have a good turnout at tryouts. However, we took in a lot of our own novice athletes from our novice team. They're very talented and strong as well. And so I think it's a good bridge to the junior team. And we had a vision for this season. We had a really strong season last season, and I think everybody was a little bit bummed at how our season ended last year with a 4th place finish at Worlds, although quite an incredible accomplishment, not exactly what we had hoped for. And so I think it ignited a fire in the team to sort of come back and make the world team again this year, and then try and do something even stronger as a finish. Which I think we did. And I think that kind of drove the team the entire season. They knew that they needed to hit checkpoints along the way, but ultimately they knew that the big dance was at the World Championships, and they wanted to, put it all out there at that specific event. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm speaking from my perception, but they'll tell you if it's something different.
So let's start with Evie then. As team captain, did you have to retrial this year as well?
Yeah, so all the returners, I think most of us were at tryouts. There were a few people who had been on vacation since that was our very short break before we started the new season up. We all were at tryouts, and then I'm not sure how much time there was, and then we had a expectation meeting with the whole team where we kind of set our goals for the season and talked about just a lot of stuff. And yeah.
Was it discussed that one of those expectations was to win, or was it just to qualify, or what was the goal?
None of our goals this season were ever medal or result based. We really just focused on each skate that we were able to put out and putting 100% effort into each performance and each run, making sure that we knew when we got off the ice, we did everything we absolutely could.
Yeah, amazing. So, Lyric, for you, what could you see the difference, because it was your second season, between the first season and the goals versus coming into this season?
Yeah, the the overall goal, like Evie just said, was very just getting better, like exponential growth, which we had this like the year before, but I felt like we acted on it differently. Like we really committed more, and we had to like learn the. I feel like we used the year before to really understand what we needed to do. This year, it was like obviously it was a really successful year, but I feel like that year was a lot of trial and error, maybe I don't know, but I can definitely, I definitely see like the difference between the 2 years. And I really started seeing that towards the end of this year. Like I thought we had kind of worked the same amount both years, but then I realized at the end of the year we were just keeping like we kept getting more motivated, which I feel like we didn't have the year before. Like we were motivated the whole year last year, but it definitely we definitely drove past that the second year.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like once we got to like nationals and stuff, like we were so excited to just finish off really strong, which I feel like the team the year before did not have as much of. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like that was really the difference in how we competed at Worlds, to be honest.
Which is amazing.
You guys definitely competed with some serious confidence and sass, and that is,
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that in a team in a long time, and I honestly think it was incredible how much like confidence you guys had in your own abilities. I rated it so much. I think it was
I
incredible.
think this is also a good time for us to mention that we were obsessed. We saw you last season
This is such,
in
I forgot about
Poland.
that.
Yeah,
We
we
said this
haven't
to Quinn,
mentioned
didn't
this
we?
yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you go for it, Brie.
It's kind of rogue. We were skating for a mixed stage team from New Zealand last year.
Very
And
rogue.
we got to watch the entire senior junior division in Poland, which is like something we've never done before because both of us have always been skating. And we saw was Snake Charm. Oh, my camera's doing something weird. It was the Snake Charmer.
The
Was that
snake
the
charmer one.
short? That was the short?
That was
No,
the
that was the
free.
free.
Moonlight Sonata was the short last year.
Ah, okay. But
And it was
I
when
just
you guys stepped on to warm up. Me and Brie
yeah.
went, because we'd never seen you guys before, and I didn't know if you know, we're kind of big synchro nerds, and we just kind of looked at each other and we were like, who is this?
Excuse me.
These are
Yeah.
like these are just incredible.
It was amazing.
Yeah, no, it was.
To be fair, I was obsessed with the Missy Elliott program as well, but I feel like I didn't put two and two together. Like I knew it was Teams Elite, but then I saw you in real life and went, wait, that's the same team that did this program. This is amazing. So
It wouldn't be a guest episode without a fangirl.
yeah, we needed to get that in there, especially talking about last season versus this season and the difference
Yeah.
in the just the overall mood. It sounds like, especially further down the track.
Talking about themes and stuff then, I think we need a moment for your guys' themes this year because they were some of the best I've ever seen. They were incredible. But I think maybe this is a coach question, Danielle. How did you decide on the themes? Like, how does it work for you guys? Is it a brainstorming at the start of the season? Have you started thinking like a year ago? Like, how's the process work?
So, my entire coaching staff makes fun of me because I will start tossing things out in December for the following season.
Amazing.
And they will just laugh and because they know I'm going to change my mind a million times on every single program. And so they're just like, okay, yeah, that sounds great. Come to me when it's a settled idea. And so this keeps going throughout the season. And I think last season, at the World Championships, we were touring with the team after the competition, and Jamie and I were sitting on a bus, and I was like, listen, I found this piece of music. He had heard it for the free program, and I said, we have to do this. And he looked at me and he's like, this is not a question. Of course we're doing this. So it kind of changes each year. I go back and forth. I'm still going back and forth for next season. At something will strike me and it'll be like, okay, there's your answer. But I like to have like a running list going all the time. And then I like to feel out the vibe of the team. And I like to feel out the vibe of the synchronized skating community and figure skating in general. But what I really try to do is find something that my athletes are going to connect with. Because if they can't fully buy into the program, you won't be able to see that confidence that you saw. So their buy-in is crucial, and I really try and put myself in their shoes as to to what they might want to skate to, and pair that with what I think is going to be successful.
Yeah. So
And
your
they
brain just
certainly
doesn't
were.
stop. Yeah, it's just
Never.
you're always thinking about potential
I
music.
know. Everybody's like, "Where's your off switch?" I'm like, I can't have one. There's no time for an off. Yeah, but so we're just constantly going through things and texting in our coaches group chat, and bringing new ideas. And then I have people from outside of the skating community that will send music my way and say, "Hey, I think you could do this and it would be really great." And I may like it, I may not, but it may spark something else in my mind.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about it from a skater's point of view then. So Evie and Lyric, what was your guys' initial reaction to the music and the themes of this year? Let's go Evie first.
So I remember we had a much greater reaction to our long program than our short program.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
many of us knew what the short program really was. It took us a little bit longer to click with that one. But for our free program, Quinn specifically, he started jumping up and down, screaming to the point that we couldn't even hear what Danielle was playing. And someone at one point had said it was Star Wars. I don't know, Quinn was standing his ground that it was Black Swan. Everyone was so excited. We went into the locker room after that practice, and I think we listened to it 3 times on the speaker while we were taking our skates off. I think everyone really loved it right from the initial moment that we heard it, and still love it to this moment.
Lyric, what about you?
Yeah, I agree. I remember me and Quinn, we were driving together to practice, like during spring training. He was like, Lyric, what if we skate to Black Swan? Like the epic version. And I'm like, I'm serious. This was way before we even had our theme. I was like, that would be great. Like, that's my dream. And we played it. And then I obviously, when Danielle played it, I didn't recognize what it was because it has like that mystical little moment when it first starts. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Next thing I know, Quinn is jumping, literally jumping. He is ecstatic, as always, to hear this music. And we're like, what is it? And he wouldn't really tell us. Like, he was trying to, like, be nonchalant about it, but I don't even know. And then
Can Quinn be
I
nonchalant? Is that possible?
Yeah, that's a joke. But then I could hear, like, the melody, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no way. And I had wanted to skate to this since I was, like, little. Like, seriously. So I think everyone fell in love with it when we heard it. Like, that night, that practice, we were so happy. It was like a dream for a lot of us. And then short, personally, like, I recognized the short when she gave it to us, and I really liked it. I was like, yeah, this is cool. And it was crazy. We listened to it, I was like, oh, like, this is when the lifts are going to be. This is when this is going to be. And then I'm like, wait, this is the short program. Like, there's not going to be lifts. But little did I know there was going to be lifts. So, I don't know. I really liked both. I mean, I definitely can say I like the long program more, but short was just as good of a piece of music as long was. So I think they're both great. They both really showcase our skating and we all connected to it really deeply. So that's my take on that.
Nice.
That takes us very nicely into our next question then. So after the time between when you did trials and when you started choreography, what was that gap like? And from playing the music?
Yeah, so we didn't give them their music right away. We start with singing skills every spring, and we do that the entire spring and a lot of the summer. As we get closer to our choreography camp, we'll start toying with some things. I like to get started a little bit before our camp because it takes me a long time to create the program. And Jamie and I will sit there and go back and forth on things. And so after we choreograph one of the programs, we typically start with short, but I have started with the free before. We then basically do choreography and skill training with the program as well as individual skating skills. And so we're constantly focusing on training them as athletes individually. And I think it makes the end product so much stronger, and it allows us to be able to do all of the things that we were able to do in our programs this year.
So do you have a lot of it mapped out before you take it to the ice?
No,
No?
I wish I could, but I just can't. I have
Yeah.
ideas in my head. Jamie and I spend countless hours like thinking about the flow of the patterns and where we want elements in the music and where we want them to start and finish on the ice. So we have a general outline kind of we know the pivoting block is going to start in this corner and go over here, and the twizzles are going to start here. But how we get there, no, we don't know. And they will tell you we spend a lot of time redoing things because I'll just get stuck and I'll be like, okay, I'm going to sleep on it. And I immediately leave and come back. And I'm like, I know what I need to do now. But we really try to take our time and make sure we get it right so that we're not having to make massive changes later on. And I think that was also a difference this season, was that instead of making massive changes after competitions or after feedback from officials, we were just honing small details. And we just kept honing and honing and honing. And I think that in turn helped with the confidence that the team felt in their ability to execute.
That's so interesting, yeah. I guess making it just that little bit more precise each time instead of big changes, that's really cool. Okay, so then from skaters' perspective, Evie, let's start with you. How would you describe your coach's choreography and them teaching you and presenting you the ideas? Especially for being in the organization for such a long time, like, what is it like?
I think it's a lot of trial and error. We try a lot of things and then completely scratch it, or sometimes even before we come back the next day, we know that we're going to spend a whole another 3 hours on the same section that we did the day before. Yeah, I really think you don't really know how any of the elements are going to work until we get on the ice and do them, and we do it connected and all that. So though Danielle may have an idea, sometimes it really doesn't work. And sometimes she might think it's not going to work, and then that's the one that works the best. There's been a lot of times where we try multiple things kind of at the same time. We'll have like 3 different options and we'll learn all of them and figure out which one's the best and which one's going to flow best and work well. And also where we'll have room to grow and get faster and add things in throughout the season. So we don't get to the end of the season and we're out skating an element and then have to change something elsewhere. So I think it's all it's well done. Yeah.
It's a very thought out process.
Yeah.
That's very cool from a skater. Okay, so then Lyric, what about you? Is there, along the same lines, what do you think of the process, but also was there anything that
I like this question.
they started choreography and you went, what the heck is that? Or like, how are we going to do that?
Oh yeah, every time. No, but no, there'll definitely be times when you're like, I don't want to do that, or like there's like the team kind of has that like sense of like, I don't know if that's gonna work, and then it kind of doesn't work, and you're like, no, we shouldn't do this, but she's like, no, we're gonna do this, and then it starts working, and then we are like, okay, whatever, and then we fall in love with it, and it just happens. I mean, there's plenty of that. Obviously, there's some stuff where it's like, yeah, like this is cool, I want to do this, but it's like everyone likes different things. Also, like not everyone's gonna feel the same way about everything, but it always ends up where it needs to be. So we kind of just trust the process, whether we exactly like it or not. It usually just ends up falling into place and it's perfectly fine. So yeah.
Was there anything between either of the programs this year where you guys were like, we can't, like, how are we going to do that? And then we did it?
Yeah.
The lifts.
Yeah, I was about to say the lift.
Like me and Evie are.
Don't call us out like this, Lyric.
We love it. Keep going.
Lift. I'm not even gonna lie. We didn't think it was gonna work because of the curve. Like we thought when Evie was gonna throw Maddie's leg, we were like, how are we gonna catch it? She's gonna fall over. Like I don't know. We were really confused about that. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair, there was quite some time where Jamie and I were like, are they gonna be able to do this? So that is fair. Whether you did it or not, we just weren't sure.
I was gonna ask Danielle, is there any time you were like, have I just done too much here? Like, is this
Constantly, constantly. We did lifts, pair lifts going into the triangle intersection, that required like a lot of balancing. And Jamie like got injured teaching one day with a private lesson, and it was the day we were gonna like start doing these lifts, and I needed him to lift to help balance, and he couldn't do it, and so we were just kind of like, are these gonna work? And then I kept going, Jamie, are these gonna work? And he's like, yes, they're gonna work. Like, are you sure? And then the cartwheels in the twizzle element, I was, yeah, because we kept taking steps out to make sure we weren't moving out beyond the foot placement cap. And so we kept taking things out, and I was like, how are they going to get to each other? How are we going to do this? And so, yeah, there were several moments where I was like, are we going to be able to do this? I don't know if they feel that, but I certainly had many of those moments.
That's so cool.
All
That's
part of the
so
fun of being a coach, right?
yeah. No. It's so, and can I just say, going back to those lifts, the speed in which you go round that curve, oh, it looks incredible. But yeah, watching it, it's like you're on the edge of your seat. So you obviously achieved the effect. Okay, we'll skip a couple questions now because we've kind of covered them in the conversation, but we'll go to US Nationals. Let's talk about, how was it? How was your second win like? We'll go to the skaters first this time. Lyric, we'll go to you. How was it, your second Nationals? Just talk us through how all those feelings.
Honestly, I mean, nationals for us, it's a part of our like checkpoints, I would definitely say. But nationals is like, it's for fun. Like, we, of course, we want to do well and stuff, but like, we really just cherish, as the season starts like closing, we really cherish our last moments together. I felt like we were in Colorado, nice area. It's nice and like warm compared to where we live. So we really just were having fun. We were just dancing and making the best out of it, and obviously trying to put out a good performance both days. And just like, we also don't go to competitions with the rest of Teams Elite, so it was also fun, having our little sissies with us. And I don't know, Colorado was great. Always fun for me. I love nationals. I love the vibe of nationals. So
Nice. And Evie, what about yourself as captain? How did you find nationals?
Yeah, I think Lyric hit it pretty spot on. But I think also kind of adding on the environment at nationals just within itself, it's such a fun competition. So many athletes look forward to it the whole year. The whole environment is just so upbeat. Everyone's happy. It's just such a achievement for so many of these teams to be there in the first place. So really, we just try and go out there and perform our programs the best that we can and give the audience a show that they're really going to remember.
For, obviously, there's so many teams in the US, so for like international people that wouldn't have a clue what it even feels like to attend a competition with that many skaters, what would you describe their energy as? Is it very organized? Is it chaotic? Is it just really energetic? Like, what is the overall feeling at the competition? Evie and Lyric, you guys can answer that one.
I feel like it's like a chaotic fun, especially since we were the first division. Everyone's like, we kind of get the peak excitement, I think, junior and senior especially, but since we opened the event. But at the same time, since we did open the event, there were still some tweaks that we were trying to figure out. Like when we went to official practice, we didn't have our credentials yet, so running around and trying to get through that, I don't know, it's very chaotic, but it's so fun.
Nice.
yeah, I mean, I can definitely see the chaos, but I think nationals, like, I feel like that competition is literally full of love. Like, everyone's happy to be
Oh,
there and everyone's excited to like see each other. Like, I love nationals. It's definitely my favorite. I really just think I see it as like a big gathering, just like a big party. Like, nationals is a party. It's the end of the season. They always send us to like great locations, like Vegas and Colorado were just top tier places to be at. But we just hang out and we just, we do our job, of course. But it's like it's so fun. Every day, every single day we're there. It's so fun. I love it.
Danielle, what about from a coach's perspective? Obviously, with all those teams, that must be quite a busy couple days for you.
Yeah, I actually it was like a vacation only having Junior there the first couple of days, and then progressively got worse and worse as the rest of our team arrived. Um, I went into that competition going, how am I going to do this? Because they all have, unofficial practices. They all have official practices. Junior has two programs. Senior Elite 12 has two programs. It was very chaotic for me personally, and I think that skaters kind of saw me just running around. But I also felt like there's such a mutual respect between our coaching staff and our athletes. Like they see us hustling and working hard, and then in turn, they want to hustle and work hard. And I remember looking at my novice team and they're like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm just really tired." And they're like, "Okay, we'll make your job easier for you." And it's just a culmination of everybody's efforts all at the same time. And I couldn't agree more with Lyric. It is really just support and community and love. And they've got a great DJ and everybody's just so happy to be there. And I completely agree. It is like the best event of the season.
I want to be part of US figure skating.
It's a good time.
We say it all the time. We were born in the wrong country, Brie. We really were.
It's the big three. It's all these teams that just make such a difference at all the domestic competition. It's
Okay,
really cool.
if we look to the wider season then, what about a favourite international competition or a favourite challenger this year? Evie, let's go with you first. Oh, Lyric, you go. You seem keen to answer that one.
What would you guys think would be our favorite? Like, do you guys have guesses? Am I allowed to ask that?
What was
I don't know.
I think Dresden.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Dresden. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love Dresden. Dresden, it wasn't even like about the competition. The teams who were like, they had really good teams there. I was really excited to, like, junior and senior, I was excited to watch people. And then I loved the city. Like, at the place we were in, we would walk to the rink, and every day we would just wave at everyone and we would say hi to everyone. And they were all so nice and so kind. And I really, like, it felt like a community, it doesn't feel like that, like, everywhere we go to. But I felt like Dresden was definitely the best. And we would go and practice at the rinks, and like the people who lived in that town would come and watch and they would cheer. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing. Like, that was so exciting for us. We really, I think we did well with the energy that the people were giving us. Like, they didn't even really, I wouldn't say they knew who we were or anything, but they were just so kind. And it was so exciting. I love Dresden. That was my favorite.
It is a beautiful place.
Evie, what about you?
I completely agree. I was also going to say Dresden. The competition itself was amazing, and then the town was just absolutely beautiful. No, I think my favorite part, though, was the small town where we had the practices that Lyric was referring to with the people watching. It was a very long drive to get there, but it was some of our favorite memories because Quinn put on this lovely playlist, and we called it our not nap time, but our relax time for half of it before we hyped up for practice. And we just got to really take in all the scenery while we were driving there. And then we got to go skate for all these people who were so intrigued by us. And they would clap after every section, no matter how well it went. And it was just so heartwarming to see how many people think that what we do is truly spectacular and something so unique and cool.
You are truly spectacular, though, honestly.
Yeah.
But I can see why I would come out and watch you guys practice if I could. So, Danielle, what about you from a coaching perspective? What's your favorite?
So I'm going to have to agree with Dresden.
3 for 3.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with everything that they said. That was equally as special for us on the coaching side of things. But I think the team really hit their stride at that point. We had gone out to the Santa Claus Cup in the Czech Republic in December, which was really early for us. U.S. teams typically don't go out that early. And I really like that we did that, but I don't think I don't think we all felt as prepared for an international at that point in the season. And so I think going in to Dresden, they really hit their stride and I could see their confidence growing. And also, it's the first time you're going like into a big event like that. And so to come out, have the skates that we had, knowing they can handle the pressure, knowing that we're going to be rewarded for all the things that we're doing. For me, it was just very rewarding. And to see their faces when they got their scores, like moments I will never forget. They are in my head and I see them all the time. So, that for me, it was just a really special coaching moment to watch them feel so validated.
Just know that those goals are being hit. Yeah. That's amazing.
No, Dresden looked cool. We had a lot of love for Dresden when we asked people their opinions. Yeah, so
everyone
I'm not
seemed
surprised.
to really like it. Yeah.
I'm not surprised you guys liked it. Okay.
It's just a beautiful city or town. It is. City? Town.
Place.
It's not really big enough. I don't know. Anyway.
Place.
Moving more towards Worlds now. So how does it work when you find out that you've qualified? So to the rest of us, we just see the official post on social media. Do you get an email? Do you get a phone call? Is it at nationals? Like, how does it work? Maybe go Danielle first, because obviously coaches are going to find out first.
So they've been kind of honing this process for a few seasons. This year it was an email. And so they tell you when the committee is meeting, and then we kind of go sit there and just wait by the phone. Like, when are we going to get this email? We were actually, Jamie and I were in the air traveling to Poland with our senior team. And so like we made sure we had internet access and everything like that. And, we really don't take that news for granted. I especially don't, because in 22-23, we did not make the world team. And so every time I get that email, it means the world to me. And so that, like, we got a glass of champagne and cheers on the plane. And then we FaceTimed the athletes from the plane. We got them all on the line, and the flight attendant was not very happy with us. But it was really big news. And again, like, while we didn't have outcome-based goals, as the athletes mentioned earlier, we did in the back of our head want to have the opportunity to end the season differently, right? And so if we weren't selected for the world team, we knew that we wouldn't have that opportunity. And so just to be able to say, okay, we get to have that chance now, it felt truly amazing. And, I get very emotional at these things. And so, of course, I shed a few tears, and it just like the culmination of the hard work up to that point, and how proud I was of them. So they can tell you how they felt when they were like, hop on this FaceTime call. I don't even know what time it was for them. We were just like, let's get this done. They need to know.
Yeah. I literally was like, I guess they put in our group me or whatever. They were like, join this FaceTime. We were like, are we in trouble? Like we do. And I was like,
this shady message.
But I was like, we didn't do anything to like get in trouble. So I was like, what's going on? And I had just woken up from a nap too. And they were like, join the call, everyone. And then we just FaceTimed, I think, on our group chat. And then I think we added Danielle. And I'm like, so what is this? Like this, and we added the other coaches too. It was so funny. Like, it was so funny. That was one of the funniest top 10 Tedger moments. Like, that was hilarious. But they're just, Jamie and Danielle are just sitting there on the plane. They're like, hey guys, like, we wanted to share something with you. And we're like, just sitting there like, what's going on? And then, because it was like late at night too. And I don't know, they just cracked the news and we were like, yay, okay, woohoo. And then we kind of just like left. I don't know. It was really funny. Just like all of us were texting about it later. It was just, I don't know. It was really funny. It was really heartwarming. And then like we came back and we had practice. And Evie brought like cookie cake for us to eat after. And it had like Tedger World Team or something, just to like, it's celebrating the little things. I feel like also is really important. And it just gave us like a little bit of motivation to keep working. And I don't know, it was a very nice moment. I liked it.
Can I ask a really technical question, Danielle? How did you get Wi-Fi, did you just turn it off flight mode? Did you just go screw it?
No, if you're well, we fly United, and if you're a T-Mobile customer, you can put in your T-Mobile phone number,
Got it.
and you can get the internet for free. So I'm actually not a T-Mobile customer, but somebody on our staff is, and so we use their phone number.
I was like, were you just breaking the rules? Because why not?
We were not, but I do think we broke the rules with the FaceTime call. They were really not happy with that, and we were like, "But I don't understand."
Yeah, this is very important news.
Really, they were
You
like,
do
"We
not
don't
understand.
care," and I was like, "I understand that as well." Yes.
Nice. Evie, what
Absolutely.
about you? How did you feel when you found out the news?
Yeah, and how's it different, obviously being the captain, knowing that, holy crap, my
So
team's going to Worlds.
yeah, so I same boat as Lyric. I was actually asleep. My phone was dead, and on silent. So I wasn't getting any of these notifications. Zofia had called me multiple times because I think Danielle had texted us being like, "Hey, can you make sure that the team can join this FaceTime call in a few minutes?" And she was like, what's happening? Like all this, like Lyric was saying, like we were scared that we all had done something wrong and we were in trouble. But I was unable to answer her because my phone was dead and I was asleep. And I remember everyone was trying to join this call, and then someone had created another call. So there were 8 of us on this one phone call. The rest of the team was on the other thing, and we were so confused. I'm like, what is going on? Everyone's like, join, and nothing was working. But once we finally got on and we heard the news, we were all really happy. It was obviously a short phone call since flight attendants were about to kick our coaches off the flight. And then we all were texting afterwards, and like Lyric was saying, we had practice the next day, and we took a few minutes to celebrate, and it was really special and unique since last year we found out at nationals in the kiss and cry. So it was just unique, and it was really
Very
special.
different.
Yeah.
Who did you tell first?
I don't remember. I think I probably told my mom because, yeah.
What about
It's
you,
always
Lyric?
Mum.
Who did you tell first?
I think my sister was in the room with me when I think she heard it. I don't know. I think because me and my sister hang out a lot. So I think she definitely heard it when I heard it, and she was just sitting there quiet. I mean, I'm sure she was happy, but I don't remember having a specific reaction. And then I think we went downstairs, and I was like, they just called us and they told us about Worlds, and it was so funny. My parents were like, yay, like, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I mean, I don't really remember, but it probably my sister, I would think.
Nice.
All a bit of a blur.
Yeah.
Nice. Danielle, so did you not tell the team that the meeting was going ahead? Did you keep that to yourself? Or the official decision meeting? So you obviously need to have...
that had been a conversation that I had been having a lot with the sports psychologist that works with the team. Do I tell them about the timeline? Do I tell them what's being considered? And ultimately decided not to tell them because we didn't want to interfere with their process, and it didn't seem to be on their radar really. They were really good at just focusing on the thing that was right in front of them. So yeah, they didn't know about the timeline. They didn't know anything. I don't even know what they thought about when the decision was going to be made or how it was going to be made. But I typically don't give them that information because it shouldn't change what they do every day, and it shouldn't change their job. So that's something that we keep to ourselves typically, unless they need it.
Yeah, I think that's a real credit to you guys as coaches
100%.
Because that shows, especially when you talk about your goals and the process that you had, not having the specific things as what you're achieving. But yeah, that's very interesting. I really love that.
Yeah, me too. Alrighty, so we're on the plane going to Gothenburg. How you guys feeling?
Excited.
I was probably asleep, knowing myself.
What, so you're stood on the plane asleep?
Yeah,
You're
I
walking
You're
usually
walking
plane
on the
here.
plane.
Oh, okay. I don't know. We have a lot of fun on the plane. Like if we're not asleep, because I don't know, because we all sit together most of the time, and we kind of just talk and we chat. We just lay on each other and we watch shows together and we do homework together and we eat together. And it's just kind of like team bonding. Sometimes the coaches will come back and say hi, like our team managers say hi, and we walk around. But most of the time, I definitely am asleep. So I don't know. But I have a lot of fun on the plane, and then I don't know. We were just excited. We were ready. We were definitely ready to like for the week. We were so excited.
Evie, what about yourself?
Yeah, we were really excited. It was also we had just gotten back together after, having 2 days off, which is a long time for us, and our separation anxiety doesn't like that. Our reunion at the rink that morning, you could have thought that we hadn't seen each other for months. So we all were really excited, and I think we wanted to be there already, obviously dreading the long flight, but excited for the week ahead of us.
How about you, Danielle? Because we've spoken a lot now about not having those performance-based goals, but I think we're all human, right? You're obviously getting on that plane wanting one thing, and it's okay not to voice that at the time, but it's going to be in the back of your mind, right?
Yeah, it was in the back of my mind big time. I was so exhausted from the week before from nationals. So I was still kind of decompressing from that, and trying to process the emotions of how well our nationals went for our entire organization. And then turning my head to the junior team, I was very nervous. After the fact, tell them all the time, I'm like, I'm so nervous. And I've gotten really good at not showing them that. So that's like really exciting for me when they're like, we couldn't tell. And I'm like, yes. But I was very nervous. I also was concerned about the turnaround between our national championships and the world championships. And like Abby said, they had a couple of days off. We gave them a couple of days rest after competing at nationals, on purpose. And I wasn't sure. We've never done a back-to-back event like that before, and so I wasn't sure how that was going to go. So I think my nerves were more around the uncertainty of the situation rather than about my team. But lots of unknowns, and I knew I wasn't going to feel settled until we got on the ice there for the first time and to see how they were going to handle everything. And then as soon as we got on the ice, it was, just taking off and go time, and just fell right back into our natural rhythm. So immediately then, I was able to relax a little bit.
Yeah. But again, I guess another credit to the way that you've been training all season. If even though it is back to back, as soon as they hit the ice, they're all ready to go again. The mindset's there. Everyone's in the right position.
Can I just say, sorry, I like the focus on mindset. I think we said this when we spoke to Quinn, and also when we spoke to Agathe from Les Suprêmes. Like, you guys are achieving because you guys have the mindset to achieve. Like, don't get me wrong, obviously you guys have incredible ability, but it's your guys' mindset that just, I think, puts you that above everyone else, and I think it's so impressive.
And especially a difference between maybe the teams or the countries that aren't not doing as well, because everyone's doing great things, but not quite at that level because they're so focused, we've got to get this score to get somewhere, or we've got to get this place to get somewhere, versus just the overall more holistic view of everything. It's
very impressive. Sorry, Brie, didn't mean to interrupt
That's
you.
okay.
I just had to.
So now we're on the ice, we're in Gothenburg. What does the night before the short program look like for you, Danielle? Are you stressing in the hotel room? Are you at the bar having a drink? What does it look like for you?
All of the above. After the draw, we went out to dinner with the other coaches from our other Team USA team that was there, and just trying to relax and take in the experience, and definitely having a couple of drinks, and then definitely trying to distract my mind. But I mean, mostly excited. Like, I was excited for them. Really, I thought my nerves would be a lot worse stepping up to the ice than they were I was more excited because I knew how prepared they were. And we talk a lot about how nerves at an extreme come from feeling a lack of preparation. And I think they were able to feel more calm because of how prepared they felt. And I knew they were so prepared, so I was able to feel a little bit more calm as well. So yeah, I mean, it just kind of, it's a roller coaster of emotions, right? Like, oh my God, can we do it? Oh my God, are we going to do it? What are they going to do? And then, you know what? No, they've got this. Like, trust them. They know what they're doing, and just kind of that cycle, and then helping them with whatever they need. We do a session as a team each night before competition, and we talk about what they need from us as coaches. What do they need from each other? What are their goals? How do they want to feel when they get off the ice? How do they want to feel after practice? And just then debriefing the next day before we move on to the next event. So lots of really good open dialogue, I think, has helped keep everybody in the same mindset, as you mentioned.
Amazing. Evie, what about you? Do you have any rituals, or is there anything that you do as team captain before the first skate?
Not really. No, but this Worlds, we spent a lot of time together as a team. In our meeting room, there was a projector, and we spent a lot of time really just, we watched Swan Lake at one point, or Black Swan, and I don't know, we just spent a lot of time as a team really savoring the final moments. And then last year, a few of us started this, and then we continued it on this year. We utilized the hotel printer, and we made little edits and found some old pictures of all of our team and hung them up on the door. And then for the coaches, for short night, we put a picture from all of us in our Halloween costumes. And then the next day we edited them onto ballerinas. Oh yeah, here I guess example. Yeah, we found the old silly picture and then said it's short day at the top. So that was really fun to do. And then obviously you have to be really secretive, because if they know who does it, then it's not as fun. So
oh my goodness.
I love that. Nothing like a bit of fun to keep you in the competition mood and keep things lighter too.
Yeah.
Fabulous. All right, Lyric, how are you feeling before the short?
Honestly, I'm just excited. Like, I don't kill me, Danielle, but I stay up the whole night. Like, I'm just ready to go. I stayed up till I took a nap because I kept falling asleep. So I took a nap, and then I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's almost short day. And then I stayed up till I stayed up. Like, I didn't go back to sleep. I was so excited. But don't
Danielle's
worry.
like noting this down mentally, going, okay, next season.
Just for the listeners, Danielle's head is in her hands right now because she's like, oh my God.
I don't know, but I mean, it's out of excitement. Like, I kind of just am excited. I'm ready to go. I don't really get nervous. Because I always feel like we always feel really prepared, and we all trust each other, so it's like we're not nervous. So like I was just ready to go. Like, it was, Gothenburg was a fun place to be. The parade was so fun. The draw was great. Like, I was really just ready to go, and it's ready for the day.
Nice. I love
Just
the
ready to go.
positivity. Okay,
Yeah.
so you've skated your short program, which was fabulous, can I just say. You've got a near perfect technical score. You're sitting in third place. What are you feeling like? Danielle, over to you first.
Yeah. Again, really proud of the way they handled themselves. Our goal as a coaching staff, we knew our free program was stronger than our short program. And so our goal was just to be within striking distance of a gold medal. I can't believe I'm saying that. After the short program,
That's okay, you're allowed.
because we were sitting in third, and because the scores were so tight, we felt like
So tight.
yeah, we just felt like, okay, we can do this. And
Yeah.
we just need to do our jobs. We don't need to do any more. We don't need to do less. We shouldn't get complacent, right? Just take one thing at a time and just stick with the process that we know. And so we were really, really encouraged by it, and hoping that the athletes felt the same way. And I think they did. And we debriefed and just kind of talked about how we were really proud of everything that we did in the short, and we just took a big inhale and big exhale, and then we started to focus on the free. And that's really when they started, I think, watching that Black Swan, those clips, and like I cannot even explain how much they were trying to embrace that character off the ice. You saw it on the ice, but what they were doing off the ice was hysterical, entertaining, and also I just think truly they all did it together, and I think they all felt like they were all going to go for it together, and then you saw it in the performance.
For sure. So skater's point of view then, Evie, how are you feeling after that fabulous short program?
Yeah, I think we were all really happy with the skate that we had put out. We were really proud of our whole season, our short programs. And I think, like Danielle was saying, we were really determined to come back the next day and be even stronger and even more confident in our abilities. Personally, I was so proud of everyone, and I was really happy that we were even like we got a medal, and so many people dream of that, and that's already such an achievement within itself. So I just think that was such a special moment within itself. And then the next day we used all our determination and our drive. So I think after short we really rallied and got ready to give it our everything.
Lyric, you're nodding. Anything more to add?
Honestly, since we were like first in the division or first in the last group, we were kind of sitting in the locker room not knowing where we were going to be. But I just think we were, especially the people who were on the team last year, like the year before, I think we were just so thankful to have a medal, because that's like all we had wanted last year, to be honest. So I think we were just really grateful that we had put out a good skate, and that people, even like the crowd, liked it. Like we got good feedback from it. People really enjoyed our skate, and that's kind of what we really want. We want people to like embrace what we work hard on. And the scores were tight. It just kind of made me even more excited, especially because of the character we have in our long program. I think it gave us a little more drive to just keep pushing, as I mean we always do. But we were happy, and I just saw the consistency between all of our short programs that we competed throughout the whole season. I think we were just happy that we were so consistent. Like that really, we were really proud of that we put out six good performances. That was a really big accomplishment for us. And then just made us more excited for free program.
I like it. And then free program, you guys were very happy with the score, right? We could see that in your reactions, but you still had a couple teams to skate. Like, talk us where your guys' heads were at. Evie, we'll go to you first. We'll do skater's point of view first this time. Where were your heads at? Because yeah, you looked very happy, but still had those teams to go. You weren't even guaranteed a medal. So talk to us.
Yeah, so I mean, at that point, we had skated our last skate together. We were already so happy, and the crowd was amazing. I remember we exited our angled intersection, and it was so loud. I do a lift with a few skaters after that, and we were talking during the lift and just saying how our favorite part of the program was coming up, and we always talk.
Danielle's head is in her hands again.
Yeah, one thing about our team is we're always talking during the program and making connections with each other. So we all were so happy with the performance that we had just put out, and our score was just barely below our highest score of the season. So that was such an accomplishment. And I'm pretty sure there were only 2 teams after us. So we knew that we were going to be getting another medal. And I think that also was just like a cherry on top. And everyone was so happy and so proud.
Lyric, have you got anything to add? Do you talk in skate? Do you talk to your team?
Actually, I talk the most. probably doesn't surprise you. Evie can vouch because me and Evie skate together a lot. I have full blown conversations,
Oh,
and
Danielle, close
sometimes
your ears.
people don't say things back sometimes, and they don't hear me. But talking helps me breathe, and it makes me happy to talk. So that's what I do. But also, it's not even just like I sound like I'm just talking. Like it's usually a lot of cheering, or obviously, like we say correction to try to make sure we're improving on what we're doing. But I definitely talk, and it helps me. It doesn't help everyone, but it helps me, so I'm gonna keep doing it.
Do you know what?
But
Sabrina and I are talkers, aren't we? We would
Yeah.
have full on
it's
conversations.
it's
Shockingly, I
lovely.
know.
How do you
But
focus?
we are.
Like, how are you focused? Like, I don't
I don't.
understand.
You let the muscle memory take over.
Yes.
Yeah, I
All
mean
right, listen. I'm
it's
not gonna mess with your process. It's just a little shocking hearing this for the first time.
you know I you hear me talk at practice. I talk all the time. I yell. I it's just like it makes me laugh, and obviously we know how much I like to laugh, and that's the way I get through practice is cracking jokes. That's just me. So in the program, I trust myself enough to talk and laugh and still skate.
Mm.
It
That's my take
works,
on
right? You have a gold medal. So
Yeah, I think it also helps us, especially in our free program, like make sure that we're
it. Yeah.
giving the same amount of energy the whole time, and really it helps us amp anyone who might be getting a little bit more, not tired, but losing the character a little bit. A quick little reminder to lock back in, and that it's really not over until it's over. So bring that
Yeah,
energy back up.
it's mostly like words of encouragement, if anything. Like I talk to I mean, I would it seems like I'm saying I talk to like make myself have fun, but also people do like hearing what I say. It does make people laugh. So I just want people to have a good time when they see it because I know it's not always easy. So it's like if I maybe crack this little joke, maybe they'll think about that instead of feeling the pain in their legs. It's just the little things for me. I
Mm.
feel like it makes me happy and it makes some people happy. Sometimes people don't respond, but it doesn't matter.
What a team player!
I
I love it.
the key to the gold medal was the jokes. I like it.
Having a chat and cracking a joke mid skate.
All right, coach, now you've heard all about how your team chat to each other during their skate. How did you feel after they'd done their free?
Just so proud. So like, and also a little bit of disbelief, right? Like, I knew that it was a really strong skate, not perfect, and that was our whole thing all year. You don't have to be perfect. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and just so much pride and so much happiness for them, because they work so hard, and just to have that culminate at the very moment that they needed it to, and I could feel their energy even when their backs were turned. It was just like I couldn't believe what I had just seen and what I had been witness to and what I got to experience. And I was also very grateful that, and I said this to them last night. We had our end of season banquet. Like, they are an inspiring group of people, and they just fully embraced everything that we threw at them this year. And I'm very grateful to them because obviously I have goals as a coach. I cannot accomplish those goals
Mm-hmm.
without skaters who have them and who are willing to do what it takes to get them. And so the respect and the gratefulness it was at its peak in that moment.
That is so
So, yeah.
nice. That is so nice.
Amazing.
I can't wait to talk about the next bit because the photos from when you guys found
Yes.
out are possibly the most excellent photos I've ever seen in my life. They're incredible. If you haven't seen them, go and look at them. They are.
They're all plastered all over the ISU Instagram page. I think.
Yeah. If Quinn wasn't famous, he is famous now. Okay, let's talk about it. How?
Yeah.
Just
How did you find out?
Yeah.
Were the coaches outside? Were you guys listening to the results? Who went in and told the team what happened?
So I will let them talk to you about how they were feeling in the locker room. They were in the locker room. I was hyperventilating in the hallway. And the ISU media team had asked if if they could go into our locker room to record them. And I was like, okay, but like you can't tell them anything, right? Because like we don't know. And they had
Yeah.
sent a camera person in, and then something had happened when one of the teams was skating, and they had rushed to our locker room, and I was like, what's going on, right? And they were like, okay, one of the other teams had an error, and then I started hyperventilating even more. And so the other coaches that were down with me, and our team leaders and our US figure skating high performance director was down there, and she's like, just breathe, just take a walk and breathe, like it's gonna be okay. And when we heard the scores, I just like lost it, like on my knees, crying. And Jamie looked at me and he's like, we got to tell the kids. What are we going to tell the kids? And I was like, I don't know. And so one of our other coaches was up in the stands, so we waited for him to come down. And we went into the locker room, and they were singing, and they can talk to you about that. And I tried really hard. I think I mentioned this somewhere else. I try really hard to like kind of like fake them out with something. Like I might say something to make them think something they don't want to hear is coming, and then I just sort of like bust out with like surprise. And I could not get that together this time. I was just like a sobbing mess, and I think with my tears could feel what was happening. And I didn't get a single word out. Not one word. I just held my finger up, and they just lost it.
Oh,
I love that.
I love that. Right, skater's point of view, I want to hear it, because that sounds so magical as a coach. Like, so magical.
So we had just come from watching our other USA team. And so we went back into the locker room, and our excitement was obviously at a high. We had just performed a great program, and we got a score we were really happy with. And so we went into the locker room, and we turned on our speaker, and Quinn started blasting it. It was so loud. And I just think from the time we got into the locker room to the time Danielle came in, we were really just savoring the final few locker room moments that we had. We shuffled our Hedger playlist, and we're listening to all of our favorite songs, really just keeping all the vibes up, staying happy, also so that we weren't able to hear anything that was going on outside of the locker room, because the walls were pretty thin, and the night before we'd heard screaming from other teams, which obviously we did not want to be able to hear. So really just trying to keep our minds clear and have fun while we were waiting for Danielle to come in.
And how did it feel when you saw the number one?
I don't even remember. I think I just started screaming and jumping, and it was so rewarding, and I was just so proud. Everything that we had worked for the whole season had really paid off. I was so happy and grateful. Just the whole experience within itself was so special, and I think I like blacked out for a second. I couldn't even tell you anything that happened, but it was amazing. Everyone just hugging each other and crying, and then trying to fix our makeup as we were trying to get out of the locker room. And yeah, so special.
Go on, Lyric. Tell us how it felt for you.
Honestly, I mean, the locker room, since there was only two teams after us, we were like definitely kind of still like, oh, like we don't know how it's gonna go. It's never certain. So I was still just kind of like, okay, we are on the podium. I was really excited about that. And I was just kind of sitting there, just like, oh, I was kind of sad because like my favorite program is now over, and this is like our last moments together. And I don't know, I was kind of sad, but everyone was dancing and stuff, and we kind of were just vibing. It was okay. And then Danielle walks in, and no. And then the camera person walks in, and I'm like, and she's like, oh, we keep the people, we have to film the people who are in the lead. And I was like, oh, okay. But we kind of, because we weren't sure. We really weren't sure. So we were like, okay. So we just started dancing more and just having fun with the camera. That was a really fun time when we were like, we were all just in a circle, just dancing. It was fun. And then a couple minutes later, they come in, and I'm like, okay, so like, what's going on? And then she's like, she can't talk. Danielle literally can't talk. And I'm like, okay, like, okay, holding on, like holding my breath. And then she reveals the news. And actually, I kind of just stand there. Like, I didn't jump up. I just froze. Everyone else was like jumping and stuff. And I was like, I just walked over to the corner, and I just kind of like was fighting my tears. I didn't, because it like didn't feel real. So I was really just, it was not a real moment, but I don't know. It was obviously, it was like a dream. Like, I did it was real, but that was that. Best moment of my life though. It was
Oh. um, how was standing on the podium, Evie? How was that?
I don't even know how to describe it. Top moment of my life. I think I was so proud and so happy, and I don't even know. It was like all my childhood dreams had come true, just getting that medal in the first place, and then being able to stand on the podium was just, I felt so grateful. And I actually, on the live stream, while we were singing the national anthem, the flag, they like made a, I don't know how you describe it, they like put the flag in the background, and then we were in front. And my mom screenshotted it because none of my family was able to come, and she sent it to me. And as soon as I saw that, not gonna lie, I started like crying. And it was just so special because as a kid, you dream about just being on Team USA to begin with, and then the next dream is going to Worlds, and then like the thing you never think you'll be able to do of winning Worlds like comes true. And I could not be more grateful and thankful for everyone who was able to make that possible.
I love it. That's giving me all the
Amazing.
feels.
Yeah. You want to say one more thing, Lyric?
And when we were on the Jumbotron, and then like towards the end of the song, the Jumbotron showed Evie, and I was like, I started crying. I saw her face, and I started crying, and I was like, because Evie's so deserving, and I was like, oh, it was such a sweet moment. It was so sweet.
There's one picture of us while the national anthem is playing, and if you zoom in on everyone's face, everyone is fighting back the tears and really trying not to lose it on this zoomed in video of all of our faces with thousands of people watching. Yeah, it's truly moments that I will forever cherish.
It just sounds like there's a whole lot of love for everyone involved for the whole process.
I am loving the vibes I'm getting from Teams Elite.
It is amazing.
It's elite. Sorry, I can't resist.
I'm surprised it's taken you that long, to be honest. Just sneak that in.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay, to something maybe now a little bit less emotional, but more like excited. Now you're buzzing, you've won. What does the celebrations look like? What is the after party for the skaters? Obviously, that sounds like it was a pretty good time. But do you do more to celebrate afterwards? And then Danielle, maybe we'll start with you first. What did you do as coaches? Do you go to the after party, or do you go, no, you guys can go to that?
How much did you drink?
We're going to celebrate on our own.
And how much straight vodka did you drink? So you were like,
yeah.
Oh, it's done.
Or is there like bottles of champagne in your hotel room with the four of you?
It's more bottles of champagne, but we went to the restaurant above our hotel, and we had dinner and drinks with our entire delegation. And then we did not go to sleep. We had a very, very early pickup time. We had a 6 a.m. flight. So the bus picked us
which
like
is
three
crazy.
something. So we went and had our celebration. They had their celebration, and then we all met together in our meeting room and had a even more a celebration all together. And then we all looked at the clock and we were like, "Oh my gosh, we need to go pack because we are getting picked up in an hour." And so we all just kind of like ran to our rooms and packed our bags, and then like
Oh my
everybody
goodness.
rolled onto the bus. But I don't think any of us really wanted the day to end. So we had no
Mm.
problem not going to sleep. We just to, you know, just stay in that moment just as long as we possibly could. So I know for me it was hard because all I want to do is like spend time with them at that point, right? And like just have fun together. Like we did our adult stuff, they did their kid stuff, and like now let's celebrate together. So I was a little bummed when I looked at the clock and we all had to go to our rooms, but yeah, it was a full night of partying for everybody.
I love
As it
that.
should be.
Evie or Lyric, what about you guys? How is it? How's the after party?
So my after party was actually the drug testing. I was one of the people selected to
Oh
go.
no.
It took forever. It took probably like an hour.
Oh,
It was just we were had to go through that. I've never been through them like that before. But it was me and another teammate. And then I don't know, I felt bad because our both of our families actually waited for us because
oh,
everyone got to go see their parents and stuff. And our families waited out in the cold for probably at least like 45 minutes while no one was there just to greet us before we were off to our party. And I just thought that was really sweet.
oh, that's
But
nice.
that was a really nice one. We got to take our pictures. It was just the two of us. So, and then it was her parents, and then my parents, my sister, and my aunts. And then we went back. We had I had to rush and get ready for the after party, but I'm always ready. So, but, but I mean, I just kept my makeup on because the theme was black and white, and we were Black Swan. So I was already on it. I put my black dress on, and we were off to the party, and it was great. There was great performers. We had a lot of fun together. We got to take pictures with people. Quinn had his line of probably 50 girls taking pictures because Quinn is famous, and that was really fun to watch. He was up on stage because he's the main event. It was a really good party. I had a great time.
Oh,
So I
good.
had a great time.
Evie, anything to add?
No, I think Lyric pretty much said it. The party was great. It was awesome. Everyone was having the time of their life. There was one part where I think everyone was standing on our chairs. That lasted about 30 seconds until the security people got very upset with us. So we were all forced to get down. But then we just all grouped up in this very small area, all of us. It was so fun. Yet Quinn still managed to part everyone and make a runway for him to sing his whole song and, be Quinn. I think that really made everyone laugh, and I think it was a really great close to a amazing event.
Nice. Is there
Yeah.
anything?
Oh,
Oh, go for it, Lyric.
sorry.
No, no.
And at the end, the people like the DJ, they played "We Are the Champions." They dedicated to us, and I thought that was like
Oh,
it was so sweet. And people were so nice. Like we got to hang out with our Swan twins, Valley Bay, because we
Yes.
both skated to a similar theme, and we made TikToks together, and we talked to everyone, and it was just great. It was a great party, seriously.
what about? Is there anything I don't know that people might not know about worlds that haven't attended or about winning? You say obviously you got drugs tested, which is pretty standard, I guess, for winning. But is there anything that happens like that we wouldn't know about if we haven't won?
So not many people would have a clue.
Yeah.
Something that I was really shocked by was how many like interviews and little media things that you do right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like, okay, you won, and now get out of your locker room. We've got this ceremony and this ceremony and this interview and this interview. And I had no idea that that was coming. And
Mm-hmm.
they really keep you moving, and it's very organized. They totally know what they're doing, and they walk you through everything so that you know exactly what to do. But I did not expect that at all. We are great. Like, I'm thankful enough, and we are proud to have been a part of other ISU medal ceremonies, but not at the World
Mm-hmm.
Championships, and that had never happened before. So, yeah, I did not expect that at all.
They have you booked and busy.
Yes, they really do.
There's no
They're like,
rest.
you need to take this action shot and this picture and hold this hand out and look this way. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a well-oiled machine. And I had no idea.
Wow.
That's very cool.
Impressive.
What about from a skater's perspective? Is there anything that you didn't expect to happen?
If there's nothing, it's
No,
okay.
Not sure.
Not really. Just it's really amazing how many people come up to you, especially when we were at the party, like how many people from so many different teams in different countries would come up and say just such nice things. It's really heartwarming, and I think that's what makes Synchro stand out. It's everyone truly respects each other so much, especially at the World Championships, and it's already such an amazing accomplishment that everyone's able to get there. So the fact that people then take additional time to congratulate you and say all these nice things is really unique.
I love it.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was like an abundance of just love. The people, especially at the parties and like after the event, people are so kind, and it's just really nice to see that people like appreciate what we've worked for, and then just like making connections with people, meeting new people. Like, we're all here for the same reason, just to like have fun and we enjoy our sport and we have love for it, and just like spreading the love is just the cherry on top. And I just feel like it's such a unique experience, and I'm so thankful that I've been able to go. So thankful.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just good vibes. Just overall
Pure good vibes.
loving it. All right. We're conscious of the time because we have been chatting for quite a while now. We have a couple more questions to whiz through, but then we'll do our quick fire and finish it off there. But just a couple more short and sweet ones to finish. Obviously, amazing season. You guys have had a bit of a legacy now. First USA gold medal at the World Championships. Incredible. It seems a bit rogue to be asking, but where to next for the junior team? Do you have a big turnover this season? Is the momentum something that you hope to continue on with? And I know you've got trials if they haven't already happened or they're coming up very soon. Can you just talk a little bit about the upcoming season? Maybe Danielle, will start with you.
Yeah. So I think our tryouts are actually tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
So lots of administrative.
What a quick turnaround.
Well, and actually,
You've had your party.
a lot of other organizations in the United States are done with their tryouts. So
Wow.
yeah, it happens pretty early here. But I think something that I have learned throughout coaching, and something that I hope that the skaters feel from year to year, is that each season is different. Each group of athletes is different, and making their own special moments and special memories and having their own journey is really important. So I think the biggest thing that going into next season, we all have to remember is that we can't try and replicate what happened this season. It needs to be special in its own right. And that's something that, I will be having lots of conversations with our returning athletes about, and creating new goals and challenging ourselves in new and different ways. Obviously, a repeat of a gold medal would be incredible, but I think our goal just needs to be pushing the sport in a new and different way, and doing it even more than what we did this season. So for next season, I think that's what we're looking for.
Lyric and Evie, are you returning?
Yes, I do plan to continue my skating career as I'm graduating school.
Nice.
I'm planning to continue skating. At this exact moment, I'm unsure where, but I will be continuing to skate.
Nice. I love that.
The thing about
So
US is our college applications don't come out until
Yes.
a little bit later. So I think Evie's feeling that a little bit, having to make college decisions and skating with that. So
got you.
it's a unique predicament in the US because
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot earlier than all of the colleges release all of their acceptances.
So they don't actually know where you could be attending or what's going on.
Right.
Oh, that's crazy. Didn't really even think of that.
Okay, I want some Teams Elite gossip now, please. Talk to me. Are we getting a senior team? Are the people getting what they want?
Are they getting a 16 strong squad on the ice? Yes, Danielle's nodding her head.
Yes, that is the goal. And although we have not had tryouts yet, like I said, they're tomorrow. We should be fielding a full team for next season.
This is exciting for US figure skating in the senior division. I'm
I
excited.
can't wait. You guys, you're making moves with Elite 12, so with the full squad of 16, shake things up in the senior category. You're already doing it in junior, so let's do it in senior too. So exciting. Okay, maybe one word from each of you. What would you say is the key factor?
I was thinking that
Same,
too.
yeah?
Yeah.
This is why we do it.
Yeah.
One word that you would say is a key factor to your overall success as an organization. So not necessarily just as the junior team, but as the whole club. What would you say is something that's really key to everything that you've been able to achieve? Let's go reverse. Oh, Danielle, go.
Drive. Wait, can I say one more? I need to.
Yeah.
I would say drive and passion.
That is like the visual representation of a coach saying one more time. Can I have 2 words, not one? I love it. Drive and passion. Nice. Okay.
Amazing.
Who's up next?
Yeah.
This is kind of multiple words, but I would say one step at a time is our biggest key to our success.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
There's so many words, but I think commitment is a big one.
Yes, definitely.
I like it. And okay, to round up our question set before we touch on those quick fires, have you guys got any advice for skaters that might want to trial for Teams Elite, might want to start skating in the junior or the senior division, just someone that needs a little bit of a push to go for it? Go on, Lyric.
Lyric's ready to go.
I think I have a push. When I was little, I saw Teams Elite, and I lived in North Carolina, so I was not on Teams Elite. Mm-hmm. But I went and tried out, and without the intention of actually going. And Danielle was like, "We can offer you a spot." This is when I was like 15. I think my freshman year. She was like, "We can give you a spot," and I was like, "Homegirl, I can't go right now. I don't live there." But then I was like, "Look, I want to go." So my parents, my amazing parents, if they can hear me, actually made the move from North Carolina to Illinois, and here I am. So I really would say you should take the risk, because I think joining Teams Elite has been my biggest blessing, and it's opened so many doors, and I've made so many like these girls are my sisters, and Quinn is my brother. But I really think, even if you're in the area, if you're not, it doesn't matter. I think you should just go out and just put yourself out there. You can meet new people. You can get a new good skating experience. And it's just like, why not? You're not going to lose anything.
Why not?
I would just go try out. That's just me. That's my life story. But I would do it.
Evie, anything else from a skater's perspective?
I think if you're considering it, just take the risk and do it. It's so worth the risk. I mean, I've made all of my best friends through skating, and most of them through Teams Elite. And I've made so many memories that I will be able to hopefully tell the next generations to come, and couldn't have done any of it if I didn't take the risk and move organizations when I was younger.
And then finally, Danielle, anything from a coach's perspective? We get a lot of people wanting to hear from coaches, so I'm intrigued on this one.
Yeah. I think something that I hear is sometimes like, oh, I'm not good enough, or, I just want to take another year and get my skills stronger. And the reality for us, I can only speak for our program, right? The reality for us is that if you come in and you care and you're willing to work hard, you can be successful. Um, I think there's no magic fairy dust. I don't think there's a magic equation. And listen, I love my skaters, but every single one of them has flaws, just like I do it as a coach and a human being. And it's not like we've got a ton of Olympic level athletes, right? It's people who care and who are willing to put the work in. And so I think that whether it's Teams Elite or anywhere else, if you have that, you will be successful.
I love it. That was such a nice way to round off that. It was just great. So unless you've got anything, Brie, we're going to just go through our quick fires, which are traditionally not very quick, but we're going to try and make them quick. So we're going to do a round robin of, we'll go Danielle, Evie, then Lyric, just because that's the way my screen is. And we're going to ask you 6 questions. So we'll ask number 1 and then you can all answer in turn. And we'll go from there. Do you want to get started, Brie, with number 1?
Okay, sure thing. Let's go. All right, short or free program?
Free program.
Free program.
Free program.
Gosh, nice. Okay.
The go-to.
Favorite element?
Angled intersection.
Oh,
I know.
That is definitely a coach's answer.
I know. I love teaching.
Yeah.
I love teaching.
They're so technical. Right, okay.
Oh, I don't know. I like a good travel element.
okay. Yeah,
Um,
solid.
Transitions? No, just kidding. No, I would say my favorite element, honestly, was the artistic element. I really thought it was really cool.
Yeah, love. Okay, amazing. Spin or jump?
Neither.
That's right, it was honest.
Spin.
Spin all the way.
Yeah.
And
Keep my feet on the
Do you
ground.
want to try and sound a little bit more enthusiastic there, Lyric, with your answer? Okay, favorite turn?
Twizzle.
I fully just missed the question because my AirPods died. Can you repeat that?
That's okay.
Favorite turn?
Oh, turn. Rockers.
Standard, nice.
I actually do like twizzles.
Okay. Twizzles.
Nice, very good. Okay, this one's favorite program you've skated. So Danielle, maybe you can do this favorite program you've coached if you want, or if you've got one that you've skated yourself.
I've had 2 that I've coached. It would be last year's short Moonlight Sonata, this year's free Black Swan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think our free program this year.
Yeah, our free program this year, I always wanted to skate to that. But I will have to say Moonlight Sonata was like they're neck and neck. I love that program.
Beautiful.
Okay, finally then, favorite program of all time?
Watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it can be one that you've watched, or if it's one that you've skated, it can be that too, but usually it's one we've found people have watched.
Ooh.
Okay, I have 2. Something that has always stuck with me was when Paradise did Whitney Houston, I Will Always Love You for their short program.
Yeah.
That is an all-time favorite. And then honestly, Team Unique's free program this year is way up there. Way up there.
Okay.
Agree, both. No notes. I think that video on YouTube of Paradise has like over 1 million views.
Yeah.
It's like when you search synchronized skating, it's like one of the first ones that comes up.
It's breathtaking.
I mean, it's a pretty good promo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to agree with Danielle on this one. I really like both of Unique's programs, but I really like their short program this year.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
3 for 3. The Unique free program is like the best thing I've ever seen. like it's so good. It's so sophisticated.
Mm-hmm.
I really like it. But I do have to give a shout out to Starlights Junior when they did Angels. They did that when I was like really little.
Mm-hmm.
But that I've like never like actually I have another one. I don't know if I can say.
That's okay.
But
Go
I
for it.
like cried for that. But I was like 11. Like I was like really young. But I always that was like the first like actual skating program that I really remember watching. I remember watching it at Porter. It was great. But then you know what also made me cry this year? Watching Teams Elite, the senior free program, like our Elite 12's free program. I started crying at nationals, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I don't cry and stuff, but I started crying. I love that program. So good job, Danielle.
All the emotions.
Okay,
Amazing.
I've snuck a final one in there.
Okay, good.
Because it's me. And if you don't want to answer, that's fine. We'll just edit this out. Like, we'll just edit what I've just said out. But who do you think is going to win Senior Worlds?
It's up for grabs. It's completely up for grabs. All of the teams are so good. You probably I don't know. They're all really good. If they all have good skates, it's in the judges' hands, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they all have the potential to win.
Mm-hmm.
I love how political you guys are being and very like, I love it.
Danielle,
when we turn the recording off, then we'll be like, okay.
Yeah, let's have an offline conversation about that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, nice. Pardon?
Are you commentating?
I am commentating. Yes, I am.
Are you really?
Yes.
Exciting.
Oh my God. Chris, you're cracking me up.
Yes.
That's incredible. Well,
that's gonna be so good.
I think that's a good place to end the episode. It's been a lengthy one, but it's been fabulous to talk to you all. So, Danielle, Evie, Lyric, thank you so much for coming on the Synchro Skaters Club.
Thank you for having
me. You've had so much fun.
Good. Over to you, Brie.
It's been fabulous. Over to me. All right. Well, that closes out our Season 1, Episode 18, The Road to First Place with Teams Elite. I'm sure everyone listening can agree that it has been so interesting to listen to these guys chat about their season and the way their club and team operates, and just the overall morale and all the love that they have for each other. So this has been so great to listen to. Obviously, again, from us at the Synchro Skaters Club and everyone else, a huge congratulations to them for this massive achievement. But yeah, well, thank you so much for coming on, and we're going to sign out there for episode 18. So lots of love.
The Synchro Skaters Club.
The Synchro Skaters Club.
Bye.